Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to Tarot with Shizu. My name is Shizu and I will be facilitating your tarot card reading today. So, I am going to do a reading for the message for you for the month of June 2022. Right now, I'm recording this on the 30th of May, but it's actually the new moon day. So if you want to think about it as from one new moon to the next new moon, that also works. Just for your reference, next new moon is June 28th. 2022, so you might want to think of it as from today, May 30th through June 27th, right? And then the 28th will be the new moon. So you could think in that way, or you can just think of it as just the June reading. All right, so let's begin. Okay, so I have shuffled and selected two cards for three different options. What happened was I initially drew one card each for three groups, but they were a little bit less specific than I wanted it to be. So I asked for each of the options, tell me more about this option, and I selected another card to go with it. So let's take a look at the cards. So let's call this option number 1, option number 2, and option number 3. So please have a seat or you can sit nice and tall, take a deep breath or two, and ask yourself what the message I need to hear right now for the month of June. Option number 1, option number 2, and option number 3. Now, hopefully you have chosen by now. And I will show you today's deck. If you have been here before, thank you for returning. You have seen these cards before. It's the deck that's called Mystic Mondays Tarot. It's a very beautifully colored tarot deck and quite new as well. It came into the world in, it should say something, 2018. So it's quite new. And see these cards, I find them very beautiful, very shiny. Yes. Maybe a little simplistic, but I find them very beautiful. Yeah. The colors are very beautiful as well. So I hope you enjoy the cards you get in your option. So, option number 1, you have the Magician. She's very, very shiny. The Magician. And to go with the Magician, I pulled out 4 of Cups. So often we call this the clarifier to go with a card that's a little bit more broad in meaning. So what it is that the Magician is a major arcana, which is to say it's more about the broader way that you go about your life. And this one is the minor arcana. It has the suit, the cups, and then the number to go with it. So it's more about the mundane day-to-day sort of advice. So that's why, when I get a major arcana, sometimes it's helpful to draw another card to go with it, refine the meaning of the Magician. So, what do these cards together mean? Now, first of all, because I first drew the Magician for you as an option number 1. So it's going to be a very cool month for you, I feel. The Magician is about being able to, harness the different materials, sort of different element power, and sort of contain it within yourself so that you can make magic, right? So yes, sure, it could be something like, something supernatural. It could be something metaphysical, but at the same time, manifest magic from mundane, that sort of thing, especially with this card, actually. So as I said, the card of magician is about having having all the resources available in front of you so that you can make something out of it. There is something transformational or transmuting even about that quality. So let's say you have a situation at work or what have you, maybe with the family, and then you can sort of redirect or even transform a situation or a problem into another another stage of a project or relationship or something like that. So there is some magic to what you can do when you have all the available elements in front of you. And even if you might think that, oh, but then I don't have all the ingredients that I want to have, but know that you can make sense of everything that you have in front of you. So, the very mundane example would be that there is a recipe that you want to make, like you want to make a cake, a certain cake or something. And it calls for, let's say, for example, orange rinds, but you don't have orange peel, right? But you do have lemon, so you can make it into a lemon cake instead of the recipe. Yes, it's not exactly what you wanted to have, but with this magician card, it becomes a really wonderful lemon cake. That is that, and I'm so sorry, I get too excited, too animated. So that is the analogy that I have for the magician card. Now, the Four of Cups is about, again, it's manifesting actually. So in front of this lady, so I think that these are different ladies because they have different hair. But maybe they're the same people. I don't know. But this lady is sort of meditating in front of 3 cups. And then there's there's the 4th cup that's appearing out of nowhere. So now, traditionally speaking, the 4th cups is about sort of having an ideal and almost sort of chasing an ideal that's unrealistic, right? Because these cups are on the ground, they're grounded. So these can be the grounded sensation that you have from something that's very concrete in front of you, yeah? And this 4th cup is in the air, so it's almost like at the idea stage almost. But in conjunction with the magician, because the magician can actually make magic out of these elements that are in front of that magician. So it's the same thing as this person. These are the elements that are existing. And then out of the blue, this person can actually make that 4th cup that's actually different, in color and in essence as well. So that I think it's a very interesting one to have as a combination. So yes, it's almost as if you have ingredients to make something very different with your idea, and with some sort of, to other people it might seem like magic, that you're a magician to alter the state, state A to state B or even to Z. You know what I mean? So I think it's quite an exciting month for you. Continue to, exercise your skills, right? As a magician, you are skilled in something, maybe many things. The chances are you are actually skilled in many different things. And out of all the many different assets that you already have, skill sets you have, you manifest something new. So good luck manifesting something new, and let me know if that happens, within the month. Let me know in the comments. I will be looking forward to hearing how it goes. Option number 2. You get the sun. Very beautiful, very shiny. Like the sun, very shiny. And then you have 4 of Pentacles. So as I said in the option number 1, what you got also is the major arcana, the Sun, and then another minor arcana. So again, as I said in the first option, sometimes I like to draw a clarifier to a major arcana. So the major arcana is a card about more of a general direction in life, whereas the minor arcana, it has the suit and the number, 4 of Pentacles. So these are more about the mundane, day-to-day advice, or situations. So sometimes it's helpful to have a clarifier like this one for a Pentacles to a major arcana like the Sun to refine the meaning of that major arcana. So this is what happened today as well. Let's see how they make sense together. Now, I'm very excited, first of all, that you have the Sun. I find it's a very beautiful card. And look at that. It's almost, this is the Sun goddess, right? So I'm Japanese. So we have the Sun, not a god, but it's the Sun goddess. And she is basically the highest deity of the Japanese pantheon. So, I always think of her when I see this card, Amaterasu, Amaterasu Omikami. And she's, she's kind of calling the sun. Well, she is the embodiment of the sun, but she's like, here comes the sun, right? It's a very beautiful card calling out to the sun to shine on oneself. Now, when you get this card, it is very likely that, let's say, for example, maybe you were sick or maybe you were in a difficult position. The sun shines on you now. So it's very promising that you will become healthier, you will become more stable and happier, more, having a shining example of something, shining personality, that sort of thing. Very enlightening, right? Light. So it's a very positive card to get in any situation. So first of all, congratulations for getting this card. Now, with the 4 of Pentacles card, I always find it quite interesting how they can look similar, right? So yes, these are pentacles, they're coins, but they're pretty much the same size and they look very similar to each other, except that these are silver and this is a gold coin, let's say, right? Now, both things together, and this is not a traditional meaning, but you know how these 4 discs, these pentacles, are in a box. This one is not in a box, so it's almost as if think outside the box, right? Quite literally. And when I thought of this, I thought I was quite clever. So, these are very neatly placed. And traditionally speaking, 4 of Pentacles is about holding on to assets, right? Almost in a way that some people might perceive it as being thrifty or even being cheap. So 4 of Pentacles has that sort of connotation with it, in that, one is holding on to one's assets so tightly that there's nowhere to breathe, or, even if that person has a lot of assets, not spending it for the enjoyment of life, right? So that's a traditional meaning of 4 of Pentacles. And in this, you can see that these are very neatly stacked, but very, securely locked inside a box, right? So now with the sun, it's really, the box is out, just gone, and there's that, it's almost as if shedding a new light, you see the pun, shedding a new light on the way this has been. So let's say for the month of June, maybe you can try to think outside of your comfort zone so that you shed a new light on a situation or relationships or what have you, so that you become more sort of step into your own power. Let's say she's a sun goddess, so she's stepping in, inside of that shiny radius of, radiant sun, and see how it goes for you. I think right now it's possible that you are stuck in the status quo and perhaps even wanting to change it. If you don't want to, obviously I'm not going to force you to do anything. Please don't take this as a, rule. But I'm suggesting that maybe it could be a lot more fun if you could go out of your routine to enjoy the sun. It could simply be going out for a walk and taking a less treaded path, for example, by you, so let's say you go, this way and that way, and then you come back home usually, but maybe take another route and enjoy the sun for the extra maybe 10-15 minutes or something like that. And then maybe things will start to shift more toward this sort of excitement and enlightenment and a little bit more of warmth, because as neat and organized as these are, they look very, cold and almost sterile, right? But this one is vibrant and a lot of life. So I would say for the month of June, go outside of your routine, go outside of your own box and see how it goes, and let me know how it goes for you. Option number 3, you have the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Oh, sorry. So I had to laugh. When I when I drew the King of Pentacles to sort of know more, have more information about the Knight of Pentacles. It's well, it's almost like the father and the son, right? So let's take a look at them. So now, the order I drew is actually this way. Okay? So the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, like that. Now, you might know about the directionality of the cards. So, in this one, the characters in the cards are sort of facing back to back. Yeah? Now, I want to explain why I'm going to read it like this. And also, just because these are men in the card, so it's the Knight and the King, so they are traditionally associated with men. But just because these figures are men doesn't necessarily mean that, these mean men in your life. They could be, but it could be, let's say you're a woman, they can call on to the qualities that you have that are traditionally associated with male. So it could be, more assertive, more active, sort of a less emotion-oriented, but more business-like, for example, right? So those are the qualities. Now, first of all, the Knight of Pentacles, you can see that he is, to me, when I first saw this card, looked like a soccer player. And this is a pentacle, so it's a coin essentially, but he really looks like a soccer player with a soccer ball in his hand. For whatever reason, that seems to me like that. So this person is a very casual person holding on to his skill set and then going around the field, but at the moment he is stationary. It's almost as if he's either about to play soccer or he has just finished playing soccer. So he's stationary, not moving. Now, on the other hand, the King of Pentacles, look at how he's dressed. He is a businessman, maybe going to a meeting, going to a function, dressed very sharply, very formally, right? So because these are of the same suit, the suit of Pentacles, I consider it to be either they are in some ways related. So again, as I said, the father and the son relationship, or it could be that the king is the grown-up version of the Knight of Pentacles, right? So think of it, as you wish, because it could be that these are the qualities that you have within you, or it could be that these are the people who you have in your life. And it could be that it's just one person, like that's more like him. That is the possibility of growing up to be like this person, the King of Pentacles. Or it could be that it's associated with the King of Pentacles in your life who used to be like the Knight of Pentacles. So there are many, many, many different possibilities to think about these cards. And then I clued in that, well, in the month of June, I think it's June 19th, we have Father's Day. So I'm thinking, wow, okay, maybe this is a really good combination of cards for Father's Day, And also it could be just one person in your life that has these qualities as well. Right? So again, many, many different possibilities. Now, how I read it, however, is that because they came out like this, they are sort of facing away from each other, you could be having a little bit of conflict, for example, with a male figure in your life. Maybe. Or someone who is like a father to you, and you might be the younger one. You could be the older figure who has a little bit of conflict with a younger figure, but it's almost as if, these people have the same quality, right? Because they are of the same suit of Pentacles. So the suit of Pentacles is about being good with money, basically. Good with money and good with numbers, good with business dealings, organization, and also, putting things in order. Right? So these are the qualities of the Pentacles. Now, the Knight is younger, and the King of Pentacles is, let's say the CEO of a company, that sort of thing. Knight is getting there, but he has a little bit more to learn, right? So think of them in that way. Now, I would like you to figure out a way for these qualities to harmonize with each other. If you have someone like this or this in your life, you could go toward that person. If you are this person, the younger one, you could ask the older one to give you advice about, let's say, money, because it's the suit of Pentacles, but it could be about life in general. It could be about, how to build a successful family. It could be as a good foundation, some sort of good foundation. So ask this older person about that. If you happen to be this older person, then you can ask him how he's doing. Maybe he's finished a soccer practice or something like that, and then relate to him at his level, right? If you are the older one, you are likely to have more experience. You probably have more life experience, of course, maybe in business as well. So you can sort of go back to this life stage, to talk on his level how he's doing, and maybe you can help him how to elevate his skills or his ideas and things like that. So those are my suggestions. Now, let's say, for example, these are the qualities that you have within yourself. Because these came out this way, maybe you are trying to make sense of how to grow up. Really, it's almost like adulting. Adulting is hard. How do we adult? if you are like that, in order for these qualities to harmonize with each other, you can start to, take courses, for example, or start asking people who are like this to give you advice. So, Pentacles, the people who are associated with Pentacles, they are very studious. They're very meticulous and hardworking. So use those abilities within you to work hard and consistently so that you can harmonize with this adult version of yourself without forgetting about that casual, more easygoing, more playful aspect of the knight, right? So yeah. And of course, if you have your father or fatherly figure in your life right now, this month, celebrate it. Yeah, celebrate your dad. I think it's a good idea. So that was for option number 3. So I hope you liked this month's reading. I found them to be very interesting, especially option number 3. Again, when they came out, I had to laugh. It was just too funny to have those two cards together. But for option 1 and 2, the mixture was very interesting as well. You had one major arcana, one minor arcana. You might have related quite well with the minor arcana's day-to-day, more mundane advice to go with the major arcana that you got. So the month of June is going to be quite a productive month, I think, for a lot of us. Maybe one more than the other groups, but I think it will be fun for all of us in any case. So enjoy the sun. In the North Hemisphere, we are starting to have the summer. Well, close to the summer. So enjoy the sun and manifest magic from mundane, and enjoy Father's Day if it applies to you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again. Bye.